I have a question today from someone that was a very interesting one, and I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about it. He writes, I've tried the self-improvement route through reading, through counseling, and all I get is the same old thing. Nothing new. I've heard it all before. Doesn't anybody have the answer? That's a very good question. Yeah, that's why I wanted to have a short video on it. It's true, I have no doubt that you've heard the same thing over and over. The books on the market, the speakers, have the same message, essentially, in different ways. Just like weight loss programs are different, seemingly different, but at the root, at the core of a weight loss program, of all of the different diets, there are central physiological elements that will cause you to lose weight. And there are a lot of approaches, a lot of books, a lot of speakers that say do this and do that and do it this way, do it that way. But at the core, the elements for weight loss remain the same, regardless of the diet that's in fashion. It's the same thing about self-improvement. The reason you keep hearing the same things over and over and nothing new, and in the Bible, the book of Ecclesiastes makes the comment, there's a verse that says, there is nothing new under the sun. Well, that applies here. The reason you hear the same things over and over, it isn't because writers and speakers and thinkers can't think of anything new. It's because these are eternal truths. And when we hear something over and over from different points of view, but it's the same message, it's not boring or because of a lack of creativity. It's because it's an eternal truth. And these truths can be found in writings that are thousands of years old, or be found in writings in the books on the New York Times bestseller and the Amazon Hot 100. If you look past the window dressing, you'll find the same central, eternal truths. Well, but you see, the truths won't help you. It's like a treasure chest. Let's say you find a treasure chest, and you open the treasure chest, and there's all sorts of treasure, valuables, money, gold doubloons in this treasure chest. That still won't make any difference. You're no different than you were before unless you do something with the treasure. So if you find a chest that's filled with eternal truths on how to improve ourselves, how to have a good life, a better life, how to be happy, how to be more loving, we can find that chest, but unless we do something with those truths, nothing's going to change. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, we can read a very good book by an excellent, thoughtful writer, and they can list, a popular way to write a book is a how-to. How to do this, how to do that, 10 easy steps, the 7 strategies of this and that and the other thing. And those are all good, but they're only useful if we read the book or listen to the speaker and put those things into place. When they say how to be happy in 5 steps or whatever, we have to implement the 5 steps. We have to take action. We have to do something to change our lives. So if we keep hearing the same thing over and over, but nothing changes, well, you have to do more than read the book. You have to do more than go to the lecture. You have to go home and put those things in place. It's like playing a musical instrument. I was at a workshop once, and the professional musician said, you know, I can tell you a lot here in 1 hour, but none of this will do you any good if you don't go home and practice, practice, practice. I play several musical instruments, and it's obvious to me and anyone who plays musical instruments that you can read about it all you want, and you can watch other people all you like, and you can you can listen to music, but you have to practice, make mistakes, practice, get discouraged, practice, and slowly and with time you get better. You achieve your objective. Self-help is obviously the same thing, but we forget that. We read the book and then we think, well, that's that. How come I don't feel better? How come I'm not more peaceful? How come I'm not more self-fulfilled? Because you didn't, most likely, I'm guessing, put those things into practice in your life. That's what it takes. The book is like reading a map. You're not going to get to your destination by reading a map. You're going to get to your destination by using the information on the map to take the necessary steps, to take the necessary action to get to your destination. So, yes, it's true that there's nothing new and you haven't heard anything new. You've heard it all before, but that's a good thing. It means that those concepts, and as a matter of fact, in my book, The Great Love Story of Your Life, I include, because I knew that would be a concern, that someone might say, that Pat, there's a section there where he just repeats the same old thing. Well, I purposely then called it the golden threads. And I use that term on purpose. And the point is that the things in that particular chapter, the ideas put forth, and I make this known, have been found in writings of all kinds, of all religions, of all philosophies, for thousands of years. And the reason for that is because they're eternal truths. It's not because all of those writers through the years were boring and they couldn't think of anything original. It's because they found the secrets. They found the things that were truths. So yes, they're repeated, and that's why in my book I include that chapter, The Golden Threads. Golden because they're important points that we have to consider in making our life a better life. And so don't get discouraged. If you're finding that I've heard it all before but nothing's changing, you have to make the change for things to change. You have to take the action for things to change. Just like a musical instrument, you have to practice. You don't want to just hear about it. Go home inspired, but don't pick up the instrument. That won't do you any good. You have to go home inspired and pick up the instrument and practice. It's the same with self-growth. What is it you want for your life? What do you want to work on? then break that down into small, doable goals, tasks that you can do today to help make that come true. And yes, those things that you'll be doing, you'll have found in all of the books since time began and in all the speeches since time began. And rather than that be discouraging to you, it should be encouraging to you, because you know you're on the right track. You know that you're working and focusing on things that every brilliant philosopher and thinker since time began has agreed on, that is important to a good life. So good luck in your efforts. Don't give up. And remember, if you hear yourself saying, I've heard this before, take note. That's a good thing. That's something worth remembering and putting into practice in your life.